talking about Israel's famed Iron Dome defense system, which has faced its biggest test last evening as Iran fired hundreds of missiles and rockets of varying capability. The missile defense system actually comprises several layers, with the Iron Dome being the last line of defense. And in fact, before missiles actually encounter the Iron Dome, they're already just 70 kilometers from the targets and possibly within 10 kilometers from the ground. But Israel has other missile defense systems as well that intercept munitions long before they enter the range of the Iron Dome. Two of these that are likely to have been used yesterday are the David Sling and the Arrow defense system. Now, David Sling takes out incoming missiles at a range of 300 kilometers and up to an altitude of up to 15 kilometers. And the most important is the Arrow missile defense system as well. It's specifically geared towards taking out incoming ballistic missiles. Now, these missiles are fired into a very high altitude and from a long range. They descend at great speed at their targets, making stopping them very, very difficult. These ballistic missiles are generally also of the type that can be used to carry nuclear warheads as well, which makes them, or stopping them really, very, very critical. Now, Israel's Arrow system can intercept long-range ballistic missiles as far as 100 kilometers off the ground, and counter missiles have a range of up to 2,500 kilometers. Now, this is all as per the publicly available information as far as these missile defense systems are concerned. Let's also take a look at how the missile defense system works. It's a relatively simple principle with very, very complex technology behind it. After an enemy fires a rocket, once it's within range, Israel's radars detect and track it. They relay this data to a control system which estimates the impact point based on the trajectory and the telemetry that is available. It uses this precise data to fire a counter rocket, which then intercepts the aggressor rocket. All this is done within a time frame of minutes, perhaps even seconds. The system is smart enough to assess threats and ignores projectiles that it calculates will land in uninhabited areas. That's as far as how this entire system is concerned as well. And therefore, in fact, the launcher finally, of course, firing an interceptor missile. Now, the Iron Dome system was set up against Iran that operates missiles and, in fact, have a range varying between 200 kilometers to 2,000 kilometers. Given that the land border of Iran is at least 1,700 kilometers from Israel, it's likely that the Iranian regime rolled out its longer-range weaponry. Amongst these, the Shahab-3 and the Sejil medium-range ballistic missile systems are perhaps capable of being fired from Iran's soil and reaching targets in Israel. It's unclear whether these were indeed the very missiles that were used from Iran. Iran has also gained an expertise in making unmanned drones, but they've not been mentioned in the context of this latest broadside so far. Now, Israel has vowed retaliation. It says that it has plans ready and will effect them at the time and place of their choosing. Now, this is, of course, tremendous speculation about what Israel may target. Now, Iran has a number of energy assets and facilities, and its nuclear sites in particular have been on Israeli and American radars for years. There are nuclear research facilities or reactors near Tehran as well as Isfahan. There are uranium processing facilities in Isfahan and Ardakan. Then there are uranium mines in Saghand and heavy and light water facility places such as Ara and Bulsher. Now, more importantly, there are said to be uranium enrichment facilities in Natanz as well. This is as far as the information that is publicly available. Finally, with the entire region that is a tinderbox, the larger question is that with Israel potentially fighting four enemies, that is Hamas in Gaza, Hezbollah in Lebanon, the Houthis in Yemen, and the Iranian military, it has very, very powerful ally in the vicinity. As per inputs, the US has naval assets positioned close to Israel and at Iran's jugular. Now, this is the USS Harry Truman aircraft carrier and its carrier strike group that are said to be positioned in the Mediterranean Sea of Israel's coast. On the other side, the USS Abraham Lincoln carrier strike group is positioned in the Gulf of Oman. In the Red Sea as well, the US has naval assets deployed, and because of almost 3 decades of fighting wars in the region, there are estimated to be as many as 43,000 American troops in this very region.